do have to say this. The MateBook X Pro was recently updated by Huawei. They announced that they were adding new processors, a new updated graphics card, and that's pretty much it. But when it comes to the actual body, the kind of look and feel of the laptop, it's identical to the one that I'm showing you right now. Of course, the first thing that really was appealing about this laptop was the design. Without question, it's the best laptop design of any laptop I've ever tried in years of trying different products. It's remarkable. I get compliments at school and in public all the time about it. I've had people come up to me. Now, I consider myself pretty observant, and I've never seen that in my entire life before. Someone coming up asking about, wow, that laptop looks cool. What kind is it? Never had that happen before. And for me, the MateBook is when it happened. So if that's not any indication of how brilliant the laptop design is, I don't know what is. Another really good thing about this laptop is the battery life is unbelievable. Before I actually had the MateBook, I had a MacBook Pro, which you've probably seen in my past videos, and the battery life sucked. This time though, with the MateBook, I was blown away with the battery life. I remember when I was preparing for the SAT, I'd go to Starbucks and I'd bring the MateBook, and it just seemed to last forever, hours and hours. I could be home, I could be doing whatever, I could be surfing the internet, watching YouTube, then do SAT practice for, several hours a day. And then I'd come home and continue watching videos, and the battery life would still be going strong. It was excellent. So that's obviously a concern people have with thin and light laptops, kind of like the MateBook. But don't worry, it's fantastic. Now, I also got to say this. If you're someone who doesn't exactly need all the power in the world, you can get the i5 version of the laptop, and you'll be completely fine. It's more than enough to do basic tasks. However, if you want to try photo editing or video editing, the i7 is the way to go. Now, I built my PC 5 years ago or so, somewhere around there. And I now edit my videos on the MateBook because it is significantly faster to render and to work with 4K video, which this video is in. The MateBook kills it. It's unbelievable. Now, one gripe that I have to say about that is the battery kind of drains very quickly, obviously, with a laptop. When I do plug it in, it runs slightly better, but it doesn't charge during it because it heats up so much, which is kind of a downside, but obviously you're editing video on a thin and light laptop. And if you wanted to do the same thing with the same specs on a MacBook, it would be hundreds of dollars more expensive. Another really big positive with this laptop is the battery life is fantastic. Before I actually got the MateBook, I had got a MacBook Pro 2017, and the battery life was terrible. A few months later, I decided after I'd returned the MacBook that I would go get the MateBook. Battery life is fantastic. Standby time is okay, but if you're just doing web browsing, you can use the MateBook all day long without any problems. If you're writing a term paper or programming, I guess, you're going to be completely fine. The battery lasts, it seems like, forever. The point I'm trying to make here is that whatever little problems the laptop has, coil whine, rattling trackpads, something like that, and a poor webcam, it doesn't matter because those problems are tiny compared to the general feeling you get from the laptop. In pretty much every single way, the laptop's perfect. It might be one of the best laptops ever made from a design standpoint, from a performance standpoint, from a battery standpoint, basically meaning with the entire package that you get, with how light it is, how thin it is. It's compared to other laptops, the value is much better than the Dells, the MacBooks, the HPs. you pretty much get everything. Now, I will say, obviously, Huawei's been kind of in the news for kind of having maybe some shady business practices with the Chinese government. That's a whole other issue. For me, I don't care. So, obviously, if you have an issue with that, maybe stick with Apple because they might be a little bit more secure. I don't really care though. But when it comes to just being a great all-around laptop where I can do video editing, photo editing, go on Reddit, watch YouTube, watch Netflix, do all of these things, I'm having a great laptop to consume and create, the MateBook is the best. Without a question, hands down. So, if you're in the market for a laptop, that's the one you should get.